Progress report says we are at stage 7, paragraph page 563, and our last headword was cry, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's
Okay.
start with our revision. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First, okay, let me scroll down. First question. Okay. If someone steals your umbrella, does that mean that you have the right to steal someone else's? If someone, okay, let's scroll down more. Okay, 57. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? You're shooting at
You
the
are
window.
shooting at the window.
What are the three forms of shoot? What are the three forms of shoot? The three forms of
The
shoot
three forms of shoot.
are shoot, shot, shot.
A shoot, shot, shot.
Very good. Have you ever seen anyone shot in real life? Have you ever seen anyone shot in real life? Yes or no?
No,
I've never seen
I've never
anyone
seen
shot
anyone
in real life.
shot in real
Life.
life.
Very good. What are the five senses? What are the five senses? The five senses
The five
are
senses
sight,
are
hearing,
sight,
taste,
hearing,
touch,
taste, touch,
and smell.
and smell.
If you had to do without one of these five senses, which did you choose? If you had to do without one of those five senses, which did you choose? If I had to do
If I had to do
without one
without
of
one
those five
of
senses,
those five
I
senses,
choose.
I choose smell
Why? Why? Because
because it is unimportant
unimportant. Very good. Tell
for
me
me.
some of the sights one might see if one went to Rome. Tell me some of the
Wha-
sights one might see if one went to Rome. Some of the
Some
sights
of the
one
sights
might see
one might
if
see
one
if
went to
one
Rome
went to Rome
is the Colosseum
is the Colosseum
and St. Peter's
and Saint Peter's
Basilica.
pa-
Basilica.
Basilica.
Yeah, it's a
Basilica.
church. Very good. Okay. Is it brighter in your room than outside? Is it brighter in your room than outside? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't
it
brighter
isn't
in my
brighter
room
in my
than
room
outside.
than
It's
outside.
darker.
It's darker.
Very good. Do you prefer bright colors or dark colors? Do you prefer bright colors or dark colors? I prefer
I prefer bright
two
colors
dark colors.
to dark
Very
colors.
good. Are you or were you one of the brightest pupils in your class at mathematics? Were you one of the brightest pupils in your class at mathematics? Yes or no?
No,
I wasn't one
I wasn't one
of the brightest
of
pupils
the brightest
in my
pupils
class at
in my class
mathematics.
at the mathematics.
Do you usually
Mathematics.
mathematics? Right? Do you usually feel brighter in the evening than first thing in the morning? Do you usually feel brighter in the evening than first thing in the morning? Yes or no? I
Yes,
usually
I
feel
usually
brighter
feel brighter
in the evening
in the
than
evening
first thing in the morning.
than first thing in the evening.
In
In
the
the
morning.
morning.
Very good. What do we mean by a dull person? What do we mean by a dull person? By a dull person,
By a dull
we
person,
mean a
we
boring
mean
person.
a boring person.
Very good. What kind of job do you think is the dullest? What kind of job do you think is the dullest? I think
I think factory worker
is the
is
dullest.
the dullest
Very good. Why? Why do you think so? Because
because
the
factory
workers do
workers
the same thing
do the same things
again and again.
again and again.
Very good. Was it a dull day yesterday? Was it a dull day yesterday? Yes or no?
No,
It wasn't
it
a dull
wasn't
day
a
yesterday.
dull day
It
yesterday.
was a bright
It
sunny
was
day.
a bright sunny day.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you spend a great deal of your time doing nothing? Do you spend a great deal of your time doing nothing? Yes or no? I
Yes,
spend a
I
great
spent
deal
a
of my
great deal
time
of my time
doing nothing.
doing nothing
Why? Why? Because
because it is very relaxing.
relaxing. Very good. Okay, next. Do you think that the personal freedom of the individual is important, or do you think that the individual ought to be made to do the same things and live in the same way as other people? Do you think that the personal freedom of the individual is important? Or do you think that the individual ought to be made to do the same things and live in the same way as other people? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
that
think
the personal
that
freedom
personal freedom
of the individual
of the
is
individual
important
is important
and should not be made
and should made to
uh,
be
and should
and
not
should be made
or and should not be made
uh, and should not
be made
be made
to do the same
to do
things
the same
and
things
live in the same
and
way
live in the same
same
way
as other people.
as other people.
Very good. What do we mean by a fierce animal? What do we mean by a fierce animal? By a fierce animal,
But first
we
animal,
mean a
we
dangerous
mean a
and wild
dangerous
animal,
and wild
like
animal,
a lion or a
like a
tiger.
lion or a tiger.
Very good. Make a sentence using the word nonetheless. Make a sentence using the word nonetheless, please. I haven't got
I haven't
very
got
much money,
very much
but
money,
nonetheless,
but
I will
nonetheless,
go to the cinema
I will go to the
this
cinema
evening.
this evening.
What's another word for nonetheless? What's another word for nonetheless? Another word
Another
for
word
nonetheless
for
is
nonetheless
nevertheless.
is nevertheless.
Very good. Give me an example of had better. Give me an example of had better, please. I had better
I
go
had
now,
better go now,
or I'll miss my
or
train.
I'll miss
My
my
train.
train.
What had we better do if we want to get high marks in an examination? What had we better do if we want to get high marks in an examination? We had better
We had
study
better
hard
study
if
hard
we want to get
if we want to
high
get
marks
high
in an
marks
examination.
in an examination.
What had you better do in order to avoid catching a cold? What had you better do in order to avoid catching a cold? I'd better
I
look
better
after
look
myself
after
by
myself
wearing thick,
by wearing
warm
thick,
clothes
warm
in
clothes
order to avoid
in order to avoid
catching a cold.
catching a cold.
Regit, if you buy clothes and find out later that they don't fit you properly, what do you do? If you buy clothes and find out later that they don't fit you properly, what do you do? If I buy
If
clothes
I buy
and
clothes
find out
and
later
find out
that
later
they don't
that
fit
they
me
don't
properly,
fit me
I
properly,
take them back
I take them
and
back
try to change them.
and try to change them.
Very good. Would your front door key fit this door? Would your front door key fit this door? No.
No,
My front door
my front
key
door key
wouldn't fit that door.
wouldn't fit that door
Very good. Why not? Why not? Because my
because
front door
my front
keys
door
a
keys
different size.
are different size.
Have you got any brothers or sisters? Have you got any brothers or sisters? Yes, I've
Yes,
got a brother
I've got a
and a
brother
sister.
and a sister.
Do their clothes fit you? Do their clothes fit you? Yes or no?
No,
Their clothes
their
don't fit
clothes
me.
don't fit me
Why not? Why not? Because they take
because they
a
take
different size
a
from me.
different size for me.
Are you fit to teach English? Are you fit to teach English? Maybe I'm fit
Maybe
to
I'm fit
teach beginner
to
level
teach
English.
beginner level English.
What do we mean if we say someone's fit for nothing? What do we mean if we say someone's fit for nothing? If we say
If we say
someone's fit for
someone's
nothing,
fit for
we
nothing,
mean that
we mean
they
that
are not good enough.
they
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 are not
don't
they
they
are
are
not
not
good enough
good
to
enough
do anything.
to do anything.
What's the best way to keep fit? What's the best way to keep fit? The best way to
The
keep
best
fit
way to
is to
keep
do
fit
physical
is to do
exercise
physical
two
exercise
or three times a
2 or
week.
3 times a week.
Megan, what does the idiom to feel down mean? What does the idiom to feel down mean? The idiom
The
to
idiom
feel down means
to feel down
to feel
means
unhappy.
to feel unhappy.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I was feeling very
I was
down
feeling very
that
down
morning,
that morning,
but I felt much
but
better
I felt much better
when her letter arrived.
when her letter arrived.
Very good. How would you be able to identify yourself in the street if you were stopped by the police? How are you able to identify yourself in the street if you're stopped by the police? I'd be able
I be
to
able
identify
to
myself
identify
in the
myself
street
in the street
if I were stopped by
if
the
I was
police
stopped by the
by
police
showing them
by
my
showing them
identity card,
my
passport,
identity card, passport,
etc.
etc.
Do you think it's possible for foreigners to learn English so well that people would think they were English? Do you think it's possible for foreigners to learn English so well that people would think they were English? Yes, I think
Yes,
it's
I
possible
think it's
for
possible
foreigners
for
to learn
foreigners
English
to
so
learn
well
English so
that
well
people would think
that people would
they
think
were English.
they were
But
English.
it happens
But it
very
happens
rarely.
very
It
rarely.
often
It
depends
often
on
depends
whether their own
on
language,
whether own language,
on whether their own language,
on
whether,
sorry, on their
one more,
whether
on
whether
whether
on whether
their own language
their own
is
language
similar to
is
English.
similar to English.
Very good. What do you do in the evening when it's so cold that it'd be unpleasant to go out? What do you do in the evening when it's so cold that it'd be unpleasant to go out? In the evening
In the evening,
when it's so cold.
when
It's so
when it's
cold
so cold
that it'd be
that it'll be
unpleasant to go out.
unpleasant to go out,
I
I I watching
I watch
TV. I
TV
watch TV
instead.
instead.
Very good. Do I gather up my things from the table at the end of the lesson? Do I gather up my things from the table at the end of the lesson? Yes, you
Yes,
gather up
you
your
gather
things
up your
from the
things
table
from the
at the
table
end of the lesson.
at the end of the lesson.
Where at what time of the year do farmers gather the fruits in your part of of the world? At what time of the year do farmers gather the fruit in your part of the world? Farmers
Farmers
gather the fruit
gather
in
the fruit in
like
autumn
in my part of the world,
uh, in my part of
the
the
world.
world.
Wait, when a man has been murdered, how do the police gather information about the murder? When a man has been murdered, how do the police gather information about the murder? When a man has
When a
been
man
murdered,
has been
the
murdered,
police gather
the police
information
gather
by
information
looking for clues
by looking for
and
clues
talking to people
and talking to
who
people
knew the man.
who knew the man.
On what occasions do all the members of the family gather together? On what occasions do all the members of the family gather together? All the
Together.
members
All the
of a
members
family
of
gather
a
together
family gather together
on occasions
on
such
occasions
as weddings,
such as
birthday
weddings,
parties,
birthday
etc.
parties, etc.
Where about how much does your book weigh? About how much does your book weigh?
Book
My
weight.
book
My
weighs
book
about
weighs about a,
a
a
pound.
pound.
A
A
pound.
pound.
Very good.
Pound.
What does it mean you can have your cake and eat it? What does it mean you can't have your cake and eat it? The meaning of
The meaning
you
of
can't have
you
your
can't
cake
have your cake
and eat it
and eat
is
it
that sometimes
is that
you have
sometimes
to choose
you have to choose
between having one thing
between having one
one
thing
and another thing
and another take
because you cannot have
because you cannot have
everything you want.
everything you want.
Wait, are you the kind of person who puts home comforts before everything else? Are you the kind of person who puts home comforts before everything else? Yes or no? I'm
Yes,
the kind of
I'm the
person
kind of
who
person
puts home
who puts
comforts
on comforts
before everything else.
before everything else
Why? Why? Because I can't
because
live
I can't live
without my
without
comforts.
my comfort.
Megan, what do you do if you when you want to relax? What do you do when you want to relax? When
Relax.
I want to
When I
relax,
want to relax,
I
I I go to the
go to the
hot
beach, to the hot
springs.
springs. Very good. Okay. If you could be in the audience at any concert, who would you like to see? If you could be in the audience at any concert, who would you like to see? If I could be
If I could
in the
be
audience
in the
at
audience
any concert,
at any
I'd
concert,
like to see
I'd like to see
who?
eh?
Mr.
Who?
Children.
Uh-huh. Mr. Children. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Very
Mr.
good.
Children.
Okay, what's the most common way to move liquid or gas from one place to another? What's the most common way to move liquid or gas from one place to another? The
Another?
most common
The
way
most common
to
way
move liquid
to move
or
liquid
gas
or
from
gas
one place
from
to
one
another
place to
is
another
through a pipe.
is
Through a
is
pipe.
through a pipe.
Can you see any pipes in your room? Can you see any pipes in your room? Yes or no? I
Yes.
can see a
I
pipe
can see a pipe
in my room.
in my room.
Do you know anyone who smokes a pipe? Do you know anyone who smokes a pipe? Yes or no?
Smokes a
Eh,
no.
I don't know
I
anyone
don't know
who
anyone
smokes a pipe.
who smokes a pipe.
Very good. What's the use of a chimney? What's the use of a chimney? The use
Chimney. The
of a
use
chimney
of a
is
chimney
to carry the
is
smoke
to carry the
from a
smoke
fire
from a fire
out of a building
out of a building
and into the air.
and into the air.
Very good. Give me sentences showing the two meanings of the word cry. Give me
Cry.
two sentences showing the two meanings of the word cry, please. The film was
The
so
film
sad
was so sad
that the girl
that
cried
the girl
the
cried
whole time. The whole
for
time.
the full time.
Be careful how you cross the road.
Be careful
You cross
how
the road.
you cross the road.
The child's mother cried.
The child mother cried.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work.
York.
Okay, so let's have present simple or past simple.
Present simple, past simple. はい。
Very good. Okay, listen. As we already know, the difference between the present perfect and the
Present
past simple is that we use the present perfect when we are thinking about time before and up to now,
up to now.
whereas
はい。
we use the past simple when we are thinking about just a specific pastime.
Past time.
For example, I
スペシ
have been here for 20 minutes, so that's present perfect.
プレゼン
I
トは、
arrived
はい。
here 20 minutes ago, that's past simple.
Past simple.
Okay,
はい。
let's practice. What's
OK。
the difference between the present perfect and the past simple? What's the difference between the present perfect and the past simple? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
present perfect
the present
and the
perfect
past simple
and the past
is that
simple
we use
is that we
the
use
present perfect
the present
when we
perfect
are thinking
when we
about
are
time
thinking about time
before and up to now,
before and up to now,
whereas we use the
whereas we
past
use
simple
the past
when
simple
we are thinking
when we are thinking
about a specific
about a specific
pastime.
past time.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I have
Specific.
been here
I have been
for
here
20 minutes.
for 20
I
minutes.
arrived here
I arrived, I arrived here
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
Very good. Okay, listen. Now think about this sentence. I ate eggs for breakfast today.
Today,
In this
I,
sentence, in a sentence like this, some students make a mistake of saying I have eaten
I
because
have
they are
eaten.
using the
Oh,
word today. This is wrong. We say I ate eggs for breakfast today
I ate
because as
eggs.
the rule tells us, we are thinking about what happened at a specific pastime, breakfast time. The fact that the word today is in the sentence changes nothing. We're not thinking about now. We are thinking about breakfast time, which is specific pastime.
Past
Let's
time.
practice. Why do I say I ate eggs for breakfast today and not I have eaten eggs for breakfast today? Why do we say I ate eggs for breakfast today and not I have eaten eggs for breakfast today? We say
We
I
say
ate
I
eggs
ate
for
eggs
breakfast
for
today
breakfast today,
and not I have
and
eaten
not I
eggs
have
for
eaten
breakfast
eggs
today
for breakfast today
because we are thinking
because we are thinking
about what happened
about what
at
happened
a specific pastime,
at the specific
pa-
past time,
breakfast time.
breakfast
We are
time.
not thinking about
We
now.
are not thinking about now.
Very good. Which of these two sentences is correct? John got up quite late today or John has got up quite late today? Which of these two sentences is correct? John got up quite late today or John has got up quite late today? Of those two
Of
sentences,
those two sentences,
John got up
John got
quite
up
late today is correct.
quite late today is correct
Why? Why? Because we are
because
thinking
we are
about
thinking
what happened
about what
at
happened
a specific
at a
pastime,
specific past
the
time,
time when John
that
get
time when John
got up.
got up.
Very good. Did you have a big breakfast today? Did you have a big breakfast today? Yes or no?
Yes,
I had a big
I had
breakfast
a
today.
big Ah, sorry, no,
No, I didn't have
I didn't
a
have
big breakfast
a
today.
big breakfast today.
What time did you come here today? What time did you come here today? I came
What time?
here at
I came here at
let's say 9
12,
a.m.
9 a.m. Oh, yes,
9
9
a.m.
a.m.
today.
today.
Very good. Okay, now let's have idiom number six. Let someone down.
Let someone down.
Let someone down. Very good. Okay, listen. Let someone down is an idiom. It means to fail someone who is depending on us. For
Depend on.
example, if you don't come tomorrow and help me, I will lose everything. So please don't let me down.
Don't let
Now
me
let's
down.
practice. What does the idiom let someone down mean? What does the idiom let someone down mean? The idiom
The
let
idiom
someone
let
down
someone
means
down means
fail someone
fail someone
who is depending on
who
us.
is depending on us.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Everyone was
Everyone
depending on him.
was depending on
Well,
him.
everyone was
Everyone
depending on
was
him,
depending on
but
him,
he let them down.
but let him
But,
down,
but he let them
but
down
he let them down
by not keeping his
by
promise.
not keeping his promise.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Okay, reading.
Very good. So our reading is at stage 6, paragraph page
Stage
494.
94.
Okay, and our last head word was by. Okay, please start at as well as 494 as well.